welcome to a new video. So today we're going to be doing my March reset video. I do try to do these videos every single month and I love doing these videos because something about a new month just feels like a fresh start for me. And I'm very much one of those like new year, new me people, and I get the same sort of feeling at the start of each month, especially in March, because I feel like March is just the start of like happier times. I'm a big autumn girly and I do quite enjoy winter, but I don't do well with the really dark mornings and dark evenings. Like, I hate that there's very little daylight. I feel so unproductive. I just don't feel my best. But when the sun starts rising earlier in the morning and starts setting later in the evening, it makes me so happy. I feel like I can do so much more with my day and I just feel motivated. I feel refreshed and alive, basically. So I love March for those reasons, because spring is on the horizon. Even though spring isn't until the very end of March, I'm pretty sure, in the UK, to me the start of March is spring. It feels like spring. It starts to get a bit sunnier, the blossom trees are out, the flowers are starting to grow, everything's just nice and I just feel happy. Plus my birthday is also in March, so there is that. So yes, anyway, we're going to be doing a little reset in this video, so it's going to be slightly different to my last reset. If you haven't watched that, I will link up here and down below. That one was more of a new year reset. But basically in this one, I just have a few small things I want to do and I've changed up the way I'm doing it. As you guys can probably see from the start of this video, it's very much a vlog style. And I just thought it'd be nice because it's also kind of like a Sunday refresh because it's Sunday when I'm filming this. So today on the agenda, we have many things. Not all of them will be included in this video, but most of them likely will be. So I definitely want today to be a content day. I really want to start posting consistently on my YouTube channel and also on Patreon, and I want to start getting more involved in Instagram Reels and TikToks. Now, I have been saying this every month, so whether or not I follow through with it is another matter entirely, but I definitely want to work on my consistency on YouTube and getting videos out more frequently for you guys and maybe increasing my upload. And I think the best way for me to do that around my schedule is to bulk film. So I'm hoping to film a few videos today. I do have a couple already filmed, I just need to edit them. So it's very much going to be like an editing productivity kind of vibe today, but I need to do my TBR. So I'm going to do my TBR jar. I might film that as its own video and then talk through my TBR in this one with you guys, or I might include the TBR jar in this one, if that makes sense. So I definitely want to do that. I also might film a book haul today as well, and then I want to do some reading and maybe some reading sprints. So for this reset in particular, I want to sort out my library. So last night at silly o'clock, I decided I wanted to move around everything in my library. So I did do that. I have this little couch thing that I'm currently sat on. I can't pronounce what it's actually called. It's French, I believe, but I have this and it was originally in our living room, but I had to put it in our library because we got a new couch and I just don't really like how it looks in here. It doesn't really fit the vibe of the room or the shape, unfortunately, but I know when we move into our next house, whenever that may be, I will be so glad that I kept this because I do genuinely love it. It just hasn't quite found its place yet, but I had it a different way around in my library room and the space just felt really awkward and I just didn't like it, and I've not been coming in this room as much because of that. So I've moved it here where it is now, and I do definitely prefer it here a little bit, even though it's like right by the door, but this is the best space for it, so it's now gonna sit here. And then I had to try and figure out where to put my reading chair, which was originally in the corner that this is now in. So I had some help from my patrons and I figured out where it's going. So as you guys can see in these clips here, I moved my coffee table around, I moved a reading chair and some other things. I also had a very big clear out of all of the drawers inside my coffee table and under it because I've just been dumping so much random stuff in it. So I tidied that out, and then I also reorganized my recently hauled cart. So I do put all of the books that I haul into this little cart here, and yeah, it's kind of not got enough room in it anymore, but it is what it is. I kind of want to buy a new cart. I really want to get like a pink one, but I feel like it's silly to get a pink one when I have a perfectly good white one already. So that's an entirely different thing, but I wish I could have it as a TBR cart. But my thing is that like nearly all of my books are on my TBR because I have so many unread books in comparison to read ones, and it's embarrassing. So I would probably need a lot of carts if I was going to do that. So anyway, I did reorganize this one. It has like recently hauled books on it and stuff, and I am hopefully going to be filming a book haul, and I have some exciting book mail coming this month that I will be including in a book unboxing, so you guys will see that very soon. But yes, I did kind of reshuffle things in here, and since moving furniture around, I now want to kind of move some books around on shelves, so we're probably going to do that in this video. And then I do just want to like give my desk a little bit of a tidy up. Also want to sit and plan some videos that I want to do. I'm going to go out to the store and I want to grab some fresh flowers, because fresh flowers always make me happy, especially in spring, and I love tulips. So I think we're going to go get some tulips. I need to grab some more milk and stuff as well. So I think that's like the main things we're going to do in this reset. But like I said, it's going to be like a reset vlog, so I'm kind of just going to bring you guys along with me for the day, and it's just going to be really, really chill, really fun. I'll probably find some other things that I do want to do during this reset, but for now that's kind of the gist of it. We're going to pop down to my local Tesco and grab some milk and some flowers hopefully, and then when we come back we will get started on the reset. Hi guys, so I have been productive today during this reset vlog. There was stuff I said I wasn't going to include in this that I have done. So I filmed my TBR jar. I have filmed a TikTok, which took way too long to do because I filmed it with like talking in it, and then TikTok just didn't save it, so I had to redo it. So that kind of sucked. And then I've had some lunch and I've just been kind of like pottering about here and there. Had to clear some space on some memory cards. Now I'm gonna continue with some like of the tidying, cleaning bits of this reset, and then once that's done I want to film a quick little book haul and also show you guys all the books that I'm planning to read this month. So those are the plans at the moment. I did go and grab the bits I needed to from the store. So unfortunately they didn't have tulips, but they did have some pretty pink roses. So I figured these still fit the spring vibe. So I got these from my library room to make it all nice and floral and spring-like. So I'm definitely gonna have to go and buy some tulips this week because I like to have fresh flowers in the house if and when I can. And the only other flowers they had at the store besides these were like bunches of different flowers, but most of them had lilies in, and lilies are toxic to cats, and obviously I have 2 cats, so I couldn't get those. So these were kind of my only option, but they're very, very pretty and I love fresh flowers. So yes, I did get the flowers. I got some sushi for my lunch, which was really nice, and some other bits that I needed for the week. So now I'm going to get into the cleaning and stuff. So there isn't a lot to do, but I need to hoover inside my library room. I want to wipe down the coffee table. I just want to like tidy up a little bit, and then I just want to like tidy up a little bit in my office. I need to change my calendars to March, and then once that's done we'll get into filming the book haul. Or maybe I'll film the book haul first. I haven't decided yet, but I don't have much daylight left and I want to film whilst it's daylight, so I'm gonna figure out what I want to do. But I did just want to quickly update you guys and let you know where I'm at. But I am so excited about my TBR jar picks. Like, my TBR this month is so good, and all I want to do right now is just like stop filming and read. But I know I need to bulk film. Like, I know if I don't film today there's gonna be no videos, so yeah. Anyway, goodbye for now. Very small update, but let's get into a bit of b-roll. Hi guys, so I have cleared up the rest of the library room and it's looking so cute and cozy. I am really happy with it. I still want to make some like changes to my bookshelves and move some things around, but I will definitely be doing that just another time. For now, it looks so much better than it did before and it feels so much more like cozy and just nice. So yes, now that that's done, let's talk about all of the books I plan to read this month. So if you want to see me do my TBR jar and see what prompts I had and do all of that good stuff, then you can head to the video. I will link up here and in the description. But yeah, I thought I'd talk about the books in this video as well, just so it's all in one place in case you did miss that one. But I am really enjoying having a TBR jar. I think this is only my second time now using it, so I can't really say if it's like beneficial to my actual reading, but I just have a lot of fun actually like choosing books because it's just fun. I don't know, it's just something different. But my TBR this month looks so good. I am so excited for all of these. So I don't know if I already said earlier in this video, I do have some time off this month when I celebrate my birthday, and I usually do try to read a lot during that time off. So I will hopefully get to most of these books, but I'm also definitely going to mood read, and I will definitely be reading a lot of manga probably this month. So I haven't really included that generally in this TBR, but let's just get straight into it. So you're going to see some familiar books from previous TBRs in here because I want to like continue some of these. But the first one we have is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This one is all over every single bookish social media app. You guys probably already know what this is about. You will have seen everybody talking about it, but I feel like it's probably going to be for good reason because I am predicting I'm going to love this. I'm probably going to become obsessed with it, to be honest. So I am only on chapter 7 so far. I originally started this back in January, I think it was, and then I was slumping hard and absolutely could not get into it. So then I picked up again last month, and I'm only 60 pages in, but I'm definitely more into it this time around, and I'm enjoying the vibes and I'm interested to see where this is going to go. So I am mostly excited about this now because of that trending audio that's going around where it's like, darling, I never stopped, and then it has the music. If you know, you know. That made me so much more excited, and it's just so funny how like little trends on like BookTok and stuff can really get you excited for a book again. But yes, this book has so many good reviews. So many people that I follow absolutely love this book, and I feel like I am going to as well. We follow Payden in here, and she is what's called an ordinary. So there was some kind of plague, and I think the plague gave magic to people. I could be wrong. And you have like the elites who are the people with magic and stuff, and like a royal family and all that. And then we have our main character who's an ordinary, and ordinaries are actually like hunted down, and I don't know if they're killed, but I know they're at least exiled. So yeah, basically if you're an ordinary, you are in trouble. She basically disguises the fact she's an ordinary and pretends to be a psychic. I don't think she has any family. She kind of lives on the streets with her friend. And so far, from what I've read, it's really, really interesting to see the kind of divide between people. There's almost like a Hunger Games kind of vibe. And this is before I've even gotten to like I don't know if it's trials. So there's purging trials, it's called, which is a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. So that's very much like Hunger Games-esque. But there's also like these guard things in here, which remind me a lot of the Peacekeepers from the Hunger Games. So I definitely feel like this book has probably taken a lot of inspiration from the Hunger Games, which I'm not mad about because I loved the Hunger Games. I read the entire trilogy in 48 hours when I was like 13. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I did not sleep. Like, my mum was so mad at me because I was like literally like 13 or something, and I didn't sleep for 2 days. I think it was during like a half-term break, and I bought the box set and I was just obsessed. So yeah, anyway, I'm really excited about that aspect. I love trials in a book. I find them so fun. That was one of the reasons why I really enjoyed Fourth Wing. It's why I really enjoyed Actar. It's why I really enjoyed Serpent and the Wings of Night, and of course The Hunger Games. I just find them so thrilling, and obviously there's a lot of tension with them, and like, you know, it just makes it really, really fun to read. So I do like the action, but also this is going to have a really good romance. It's enemies to lovers, I believe. So basically she kind of gets entwined with a prince somehow, and then this prince is like known to be like the most intense of like the people who kill like the ordinaries, like the executioner or something. I can't remember exactly what he's called, but yeah, anyway, this is basically a YA romancy. There's no spice in here, so it is YA. There's just lots of angst and tension. I do not need spice in a book to enjoy it. I'm not fazed by spice at all, so I'm so excited to read this one, and I'm predicting it's going to be 5 stars. I'm also going to be filming a spoiler-filled vlog for this for my Patreon, so you can head to my Patreon when that's up to check that out. I hope you guys didn't just hear my stomach rumbling. Next, we have my Patreon buddy read for the month of March. This is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a paranormal romance. I am so freaking excited for this. I love Ali Hazelwood. I am Ali Hazelwood trash. Like, I would read anything that Ali writes. I honestly adore every single book. I always have such a fun time. And this is Ali Hazelwood's first book outside of the usual romance genre that she writes in. So she traditionally writes STEM romances. This one's obviously paranormal, and I'm just so excited. I don't know the full synopsis of this book. I'm going into it knowing very little. All I know is there's an arranged marriage, I think, between an alpha werewolf and a vampire, and they don't like each other, but then they start to like each other, I think, is the general gist. And I've seen some questionable things that are going to be in here, so it will be a fun time. But I will be filming a spoiler-filled reading vlog for this as well for my Patreon. We also have a Discord where we discuss the book, so I'm really, really excited to see what people think of it and to see what I think of it. But I have very high expectations for this. Like, everyone I know who's read this has given it 5 stars, has been obsessed with it. So if I'm not one of those people, I will be really, really disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. So the rest of these books are all books that I think I did pick for prompts from my TBR jar, but I could be wrong. But this next one is another one that I don't know a lot about, which sounds really bad, but if you've been on my channel before, you might have heard me say about how when I am extremely excited for a book or it's highly anticipated, I do everything I can not to read the synopsis or find much about what it's about, if that makes sense. I don't know if I just said that properly, but you get what I mean. Because I feel like when I know the entire synopsis for a book that I'm really anticipating, I start to set expectations based on that. And then sometimes when they're not met, I get disappointed and I don't enjoy it as much as I could have because of my own head, if that makes sense. Like, I'll just randomly decide from a synopsis that this thing is going to happen or this is going to be in here. And then when it isn't, I don't enjoy it as much, which is absolutely not on the author. That's not on me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but basically I do like to go into highly anticipated books without little knowledge of what they're actually about. And that's what I plan to do with this one, which is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is another one you guys have probably seen being talked about a lot online. I have seen some creators I really enjoy talk about this book, which is the main reason I actually purchased it. And I saw the Ravenhead Reader talk about this book on their Instagram story, and that's the main thing that sold me on it, and I just cannot wait to read it. All I know, based off the tiny bit on the bottom here, it says that it's a fast-paced fantasy romance for fans of witty banter and strong, sassy protagonists. Beneath the cover is an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, a unique magic system, and a love that blazes through the ages. All things that I adore. So I am so excited to read this. I love fantasy romance, although this is a chunky one, so we shall see. But it has, like, really, really cool headings as well for the chapters, which I really, really like. Like, look how cool that is. So I cannot wait to read this. I feel like it's gonna be so fun. I've heard the magic system is amazing in this book, so yeah, hopefully I do get to this one. Then next we have a short one, which is Thorn Edge by T. Kingfisher. This has been on multiple TBRs of mine, and I really do want to read it. I think I picked this because it was under 200 pages, I believe. I think this is just over 100, and this is a dark retelling, I think, of, I always get them mixed up, but I think it's Rapunzel and not Sleeping Beauty. I'm pretty sure it's Rapunzel. We have Faye in here, and our main character is called Toadling, which is very cool, and there's curses and stuff. It's just supposed to be a really dark, fun short story, a reimagining of a fairy tale, which I always really enjoy those, and I really like short stories, specifically when I am in a reading slump. I feel like this will be great, so I'm so excited to read this one and to finally read something by this author. Okay, so this next one is a translated novel. This is translated from Japanese, and I'm a big fan of translated fiction, specifically Japanese fiction, so I love a lot of them, and the ones I tend to enjoy the most are the ones that have those subtle, not necessarily subtle, but the kind of concept of it is kind of taking mundane life and showing how special it actually is, or taking something like connection and showing how amazing it is that we can connect with different people in different ways. It takes like things like that and really makes you appreciate them, and I always find after reading one of these novels that I just seem to appreciate the little things in life more, which I think is kind of the purpose of them. So the one that I'm really excited to read this month is What You Are Looking For Is in the Library. I don't know how to pronounce this author's name, and I really don't want to say it incorrectly. So this is the author's name here. So yeah, I did Google it and try to pronounce it, but I can't, like, the words won't come out my mouth because I'm very bad at pronunciation. It's something that I really do struggle with. But yeah, anyway, I am very excited to read this. It was on my TBR last month and I sadly just didn't get to it. I have the audiobook downloaded, so I do plan to listen to this on audio. And honestly, this just sounds like it's going to be such an incredible read. I was very kindly gifted this by my lovely subscriber and patron, Vanessa. So thank you so much, Vanessa. I'm so excited to read this. And I'll just read you guys this little summary here on the inside because this just sounds so incredible. So it says, this book is about the magic of libraries and the discovery of connection. This inspirational tale shows how, by listening to our hearts, seizing opportunity and reaching out, we too can fulfill our lifelong dreams. Which book will you recommend? So I love that it's bookish as well, and doesn't that just sound incredible? I feel like this will be such a lovely book to read this month and I'm so excited. Like, I'm predicting I'm gonna love this. I'm really hoping it makes it into my top 10 of the year because it just sounds amazing. And yeah, I'm so excited to read this. So that one is definitely on my TBR. Then next we have The Name Drop by Suzanne Lee. This one I had on my TBR last year and I briefly started and got 50 pages into before I hit my reading slump hard and was like, absolutely not, I'm not reading anything. So I do want to come back to this and I'm so excited that now I'm getting the chance to. So this is the author's previous book here, which is Soulmates, and I love this. I read an arc of it and it was so fun. It's like K-drama vibes, romance, just really nice, light, fluffy kind of palette cleanser book. And I feel like I need that. It's quite short as well, so again, perfect for coming out my slump. It's less than 300 pages, set in New York City in the summer, and I can't remember the full synopsis, but what I do remember is we have our main character who is called Jessica, and basically we have Jessica and then we have Elijah, and Elijah is the son of like the CEO of this company, and he's there to kind of be trained to like take over one day, I think, as a general gist. She's there as an intern and their identities get mixed up and they're in each other's positions now, which is just really fun, but they're both kind of glad for the opportunity, so they decide to like pretend and carry on that way, but then a romance develops between them along the way. So I'm really, really excited to read this. I think it's definitely gonna have elements of like finding yourself as well and your own identity outside the boxes that you're put into, as well as having like a really nice romance. So I'm really, really excited to read this one. I've had really good things. I really enjoyed this author's debut and yeah, I just think it's going to be a really, really cute, fun time. Next we have a manhwa, and this is originally a webtoon which I haven't read, but I have seen the K-drama adaptation which is on Netflix. So this is a business proposal and honestly I am so excited to actually be reading this finally. The K-drama is one of my favourite K-dramas of all time. I've watched it so many times now. I just love it. It's funny, it's cute, it's wholesome, it's romantic, it's swoon worthy. It's just everything. If you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend it. If you're looking for a K-drama to get into, if you've never watched a K-drama before, then I feel like this is a really good one to start with. I just love it so much, but I'm curious to see how much the adaptation on Netflix differs from the original webtoon. So I think there's going to be quite a lot of differences and I'm excited for that. But I've never read it, so having it in this physical format is just going to be so fun and I can't wait to read it. I will be going shopping on my birthday. I always take myself book shopping every single year when it's my birthday, and I film a little vlog for Patreon, and I plan to go and buy the other volumes that are currently out. So I'm probably going to read this closer to my birthday, then go and buy the other volumes, and it will be a nice present to myself. So I'm really excited to get to this one. It's basically a romance between this girl and this CEO who's like mega rich, and he's so funny, she's so funny. They fake date, it becomes real, it's really cute. I just love it so much. Next we have Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman. Again, this is a repeat from last month's TBR, but I did pick this for a prompt. All of these books I managed to fit into a prompt, which was really, really good. But this one, I feel like I don't really need to go into what this is about. It's the 5th volume in the Heartstopper series. A really cute, wholesome coming of age story. It's boy meets boy. It is just so incredible. I'm so glad that this exists and that so many young people have this to find themselves in. I just think it's just such a nice thing. And I love this series. It makes me feel warm inside. It makes me feel happy. It's wholesome. It's just like a warm hug, and I love these characters, so I'm so excited to finally read the 5th volume. I don't know why I've not read this yet. I would usually read this immediately on release, but reading slump happened and I didn't even pick this up. So I'm so excited to finally get to this one sometime this month. I'm so excited to be reunited with Nick and Charlie once more, and I'm predicting this is going to be 5 stars. So the last book we have on my TBR is The Crimson Moth by Kristen Cicerelli. I believe this is called Heartless Hunter in the US. So yeah, I am really excited for this. This is the stunning Fairy edition. Look at this. I am obsessed, and the character art, oh, just yes. Yes, he's looking tall, dark and handsome, which is exactly my type. So cannot wait to read this one. So this one is a young adult fantasy romance. It is enemies to lovers. It's a witch and a witch hunter. I feel like I could stop right there and you'd want to read this. It's very Serpent and Dove-esque, which I really enjoyed, so I'm even more excited because of that. But we basically follow our main character Rune, who is a witch, and in this world witches have been exiled, they are hunted down and killed, and their magic is basically kind of running out. And our main character is a witch. She needs to hide her identity. So by day, she is like a vapid socialite who just like, you know, does socialite things. But by night, she is the Crimson Moth, who is basically a vigilante who goes round rescuing her own kind. But then we have the witch hunter, who's like one of the best of his kind, called Gideon, who kind of gets on her trail. So in order to kind of throw him and his men off, she starts to court him in her day life as this vapid socialite. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to read this one. I feel like it's going to be amazing. I love the witchy vibes, I love the enemies to lovers, and I just think the dynamic is going to be so fun. And I'm excited to see what the world's like. This is also a duology, and I'm learning to appreciate duologies a lot more because I have serious commitment issues and I struggle to finish series. There are very few series I've actually completed reading, like even my all-time favourites. I still haven't finished them. It's either because like I forget too much in between books, or I don't want the series to be over, or I just end up reading something else. There are many reasons why, but I'm very bad at finishing series and committing to them. So I feel like duologies are the perfect middle ground because you don't need to remember and learn so much world building like you do with a series. And it's just nice. You have the excitement of the first book, the setting up of the world, the angst, and then you usually have the conclusion and the action and the romance and the happily ever after for the most part in the second book. So I really, really like duologies now, and I'm so happy that this one is a duology. I feel like this is going to be perfect as a duology. I know I haven't read it yet, but that's the vibes I'm getting and from what I've seen from reviews. So yeah, I'm so excited to read this one, honestly. Like, I'm predicting 5 stars. I'm predicting this is going to make it into my top 10 books of the year. But that is all the books that I do plan to read this month. I feel like if I get to even half of these, I'm going to have an incredible reading month. Like, these are such good picks and I'm so happy with this TBR. I am definitely going to read a bunch of manga this month and probably mood read some other books that I've not talked about. But we'll see. I'm trying to get out of slump still, so there is that to contend with. But I'm feeling like I can push myself out of it this month. March is definitely a month where I do feel renewed and I feel like I have a lot of energy and I just want to like read. And like I said, I have that time off where I can just sit and enjoy life and books once more. So yes, I'm very, very excited for this month. Hopefully I'm going to be filming a lot of reading vlogs, so you'll hear my thoughts on all these books in those reading vlogs.